Supplementary elections by Inec to conclude the 2023 National Assembly elections, which was conducted side by side with the presidential election last February. Arise correspondent Omo Bazwaye has more.
According to a statement released on the 27th of March by the Independent National Electoral Commission Inec, supplementary elections would hold in 5 senatorial districts and 31 House of Representatives constituencies where the electoral body could not conduct the exercise or was unable to conclude the process either as a result of its own making or other constraints beyond its control. For the senatorial seats, action will be in 83 polling units in Zamfara Central, where the battle is between the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP, Ikra Aliyah Bilbis, and the candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC) Senator Kabiru Marafa. Another battleground would be in Sokoto State for the entire 3 senatorial seats, with Governor Aminu Tambuwa on the ballot. While elections will take place in 133 polling units in Sokoto South, it will hold in 166 in Sokoto North and 90 polling units in Sokoto East. In Kebbi North, supplementary polls will hold in 23 polling units to finally settle the scores between the PDP candidate and former Senate leader Senator Jaya Abdullahi and APC candidate Hussaini Kangiwa. Analysts say the outcome of these supplementary senatorial elections may not significantly alter the current configuration of the 10th Senate, where the governing All Progressive Congress (APC) currently enjoys the simple majority needed to dictate the pace in the battle for the Senate presidency. Attention will also be on federal constituency supplementary elections in Sokoto, Zamfara, and Taraba State. In Rivers State, elections will hold in 42 polling units in Ghana Federal Constituency. There will also be elections in 2 polling units in Oyo, 44 polling units in Kogi State, Kano, Kebbi, Jigawa, Imo, Ebonyi, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom State. Where the pendulum swings here could further affect the balance of power in the 10th House of Representatives, where the combined opposition parties seem to be neck and neck with the governing All Progressives Congress (APC) that is in the majority. Inec is also expected to conduct supplementary elections in 58 state assembly constituencies as it rounds off the conduct of the 2023 general elections across the nation. Omo Bazwaye, Arise News.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's bring in Arise Director of News and Politics Editor Sobna Sambo joining us now to discuss the Saturday supplementary elections that are around the corner. Sobna, good to see you.
Thank you so much.
So, well, in that report, Omo made a point that the outcome of the supplementary elections may not necessarily affect the overall, picture in terms of the results that have come out
in the Senate, but in the House of Reps,
exactly.
There's a
so
huge
paint a picture for us of what to expect.
Yeah, if you look at some of the senatorial seats that we're expecting, they have a tendency to increase the strength of the governing All Progressives Congress in the Senate. And of course, if the PDP is able to get some, from projections, we are hoping to see either 1 or 2 in Sokoto and then like in Kebbi and some other places. It could actually help to shore them up to at least their bargaining power as we go into the election process for the Senate presidency. But the major focus here for the supplementary election in the federal parliament is going to be in the House of Representatives, because we already have 162 members for the governing All Progressives Congress and 163 for all the other political parties that are in the House of Reps when combined together. But of course, you will see that, you would have seen that this is already causing some sort of uproar. The governing All Progressive Congress is not finding it easy because these other federal lawmakers who have been elected are saying that they are going to gang up and see how they can bring a speaker among themselves. But that is if they get more numbers in the supplementary election that is coming up on Saturday. But if the APC gets more numbers, it will help them. But the members of the APC are already warning the opposition and saying that no, by the rule book, what their rules actually says is that the presiding officers, not the principal officers, the presiding officers, that's the Speaker of the House of Reps or Deputy Speaker, must come from the party with the majority.
Yeah.
But the House of Reps, the members elect from the other coalition of political parties like Labour Party, PDP, ABGA, YPP, and all of that, SDP, and I think, one other one.
Maybe NMPP.
Yes, NMPP and all of that. They are saying that no, that the rule book is being misinterpreted, that it's all about election. If they all come together and they're able to get some supporters in the APC to join them, there's a likelihood they may actually elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. So,
and another interesting perspective has to do with the two major political parties, the APC and the PDP, thronging Inec office, saying that the man at the center should not be partisan. Are there things that they're saying about the commissioner there of Inec? Because those are strong words. They're asking, look, don't be partisan, ensure that the people's vote will count on the day.
Yes, there was this allegation that the rec there was caught up in a conversation that blew up during the governorship election on March 18, before that day, and then of course on the election day. So because of that, a lot of people seem to lose confidence in him, and over time he has been trying to rebuild confidence. Because of that audio leak, some people marched even to Abuja here saying that they didn't have any confidence in him, while the Electoral Commission has continued to keep him there because maybe they feel that he's the best hand there and he has the capacity to be able to deliver free, fair, and credible elections. But like we've seen both top political party members coming there to protest and then to also talk about this, it looks like the call for him to be removed is no longer there, but they are now saying that, look, whatever may happen, since INEC has refused to remove you, just try to make sure that you're fair to all parties. And if that's the case, I think the right thing is for him to actually do what the laws states, because Adamawa is going to be very, very controversial, especially because of those results from that Fufuri local government area, which became very controversial during the coalition process. But it's left to be seen if INEC would also not, put lots of burden
that
in
brings
itself.
me to the next point. I mean, does this provide another opportunity, a golden one for that matter, for INEC, to salvage itself, to rebuild public confidence?
Yeah, public trust. How
will
INEC has always done very well when it comes to single elections and all of that. But when you come to this bulky election of holding general elections on one particular day, either for the presidential or the governorship, that's where we started seeing all these challenges. While some political parties have accused INEC of being deliberate in causing troubles for itself, INEC has come out from, what you would have heard from presidential election petitions tribunal, saying that it discharges responsibilities and that there were certain factors that were not under its control. And that has to do with the issue of internet, and that it didn't promise Nigerians that there was going to be electronic collation.
Yes.
But what it promised Nigerians is that, that there's going to be a manual process that you also snap using the beavers and then upload. But that issue of real time was only just an assurance by the INEC national chairman. Well, it's left for Nigerians to take them up to task. But this Saturday, provides a good opportunity. Look at Sokoto, for example, where there have been lots of violence and all of that. The three senatorial districts there, nobody, has fully emerged because of all the controversies. The resident electoral commissioner, they had to be removed. A national commissioner was sent there to assist the the acting resident electoral commissioner, who's a woman there, and all of that. So every support that will be needed for that election to be discharged creditably on Saturday needs to be provided.
That's why I'm happy you just painted Sokoto, because I was coming to Sokoto saying that people protested and the man there was removed. So why is INEC reluctant about Adamawa? Because truly, as Ngozi highlighted, this is the time for INEC to get itself, to step to the plate and actually show that they have the capacity to prosecute this particular election is almost now like an off-cycle election.
Yes.
So you have absolutely
had enough time to prepare.
So what does this actually say about INEC? Because the whole thing about this election is still about INEC, and the trust is eroding at every point that we go into. For Adamawa, is a case in point that many are amazed that the man, that these parties, not one, not two, they all say, well, we want you out. There's an audio leak. It's still very much there.
Yeah, it has to do with the discretionary powers of the INEC chairman. So he has the discretion to decide whether to remove the Sokoto Resident Electoral Commissioner or not. And then, in this instance, depending on the information that's available to him, and it can only be him who knows some of those complaints that have been brought before him. But this also boils down to what guests had discussed earlier, the issue of the Uwais reforms, committee. The panel has suggested that the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission should not be nominated by a president, but by the National Judicial Council. And then that with the recommendation of the National Judicial Council, there will also be, approval by the Council of State, which is made up of former Nigerian leaders. And then, of course, you also have the Senate having the final approval. So if this happens, you have like 3 persons nominated, and then that decision is passed to the National Council of State, and then from there eventually to the Senate. You see that the president and then the governing party at the time will not have a say. But if you look at apart
from, of course, the president swearing in the chairman of the
so you just come and take the oath. They can even decide to remove the swearing in of oath. It can happen at the National Judicial Council, before the CJN, and not necessarily the president. You see, when this president of Nigeria, then unfortunately they couldn't scale through cabinet meeting votes and all of that. So the issue died down because the then PDP president thought that it was under his own powers to decide who would eventually continue to be INEC national chairman. Because it's a powerful position. And party leaders wouldn't even want you to do that if you want to remove the powers from yourself as a president.
So it's safe to say the political will really to do the right thing as far as our electoral processes are concerned is really missing.
Yes. And that's why we must look for ways to remove that power of appointing the INEC chairman from the president.
And financial autonomy.
Yes. No, financial autonomy has been given to INEC. They are the